trying to make it to their first top 3 as a squad.
And here we have it, Miniboo's first neon of the entire tournament. I mean, I'm surprised that they do not want to swap things around. They've only played this, they haven't played it in the entire tournament, of course, this map. And even though at EMEA, at the beginning of the year, this map was so popular, by the end of it, we barely even touched it. And as Mimi was saying, this is such a comfortable ground for Leviathan.
Miniboo gets more value with his relay bolt on Neon than anyone else. On this defense, watch how he uses that to go for set re-clears of space with the rest of his team. Team Heretics are super proactive around the map, but Leviathan's comp makes retaking hell. Those harbor walls are so tough to get through, and EMEA teams don't tend to be used to playing against it.
We'll see how this all shakes out. We're ready for map number 1, which means it's time to quit yapping and get to some casting. Let's send it over to your casters for this one. It's Pansy and Steel.
Thank you so much, GB and the desk there. And I think it would be almost a miss to say this map, Vito, is, if you're looking at it from a Heretics perspective, Kafka-esque. It feels like they've walked into hell willingly. These are some of the strongest maps for Leviathan, and they're walking in their eyes wide open. They've got to be happy with this.
This is a very difficult situation for Team Heretics. Obviously, looking at their map pool, they instantly take out Ascent. That's one of Leviathan's best maps, but that means Icebox left in. Team Heretics has not looked pretty on this. They've lost to weaker teams in the regional matchups. Koi to Gentlemaids, it's not looking pretty here. And we're not even going to see their best map of Sunset either in the series. They need to come out swinging. They need to show us something different.
And we were discussing that Heretics had looked a little revitalized coming into this with some switch-ups, but to discredit LEV here would be a disservice. They are exceptionally strong on this map. We have to wait and see how it looks for them today. Doritex, second time is always a little bit better. We're getting curious, and he's dead. He's very dead. Aspas happily going to take him away. Sheriff in his hands, always scary. Again, for Aspas, looking to see him activate here. Another great map for him. And that head-to-head with Miniboo is something going to be on our forefront of our minds. Oh, a little bit of a re-swing.
Okay,
nice
Benji.
from Benji. Aspas.
Okay, Benji.
Relax, Benji. But he's given them a chance, and it's now 2v2. The spam nearly caught Aspas in the heels. Pause. Slow it down. 40 seconds. They've got time to play with, and Aspas, he's already getting over towards B.
Now he's going to develop a little bit. Aspas down to only 10 HP, so yes, he'll get that spike planted.
30 seconds left.
But it's all on King and his positioning here. How is he going to deal with the rotation from Team Heretics? They're going to move together. Dart's going to come off cooldown before they go for this retake. The HP is there for the side of Team Heretics, but Sheriffs purchased up for Team Leviathan, and only 100 HP on these players. So it's 2 body shots.
Oh, this is important.
Spots one.
Spot made.
Standing ahead.
And it's actually Aspas that was the one that planted the spike, and he makes his way around the world. But no splash damage to be able to get on that spike.
This is sick, though. They don't expect it. The timing's so good for Aspas. If he can just check on the spike, that's a great shot. That's a perfect follow-up for King. Aspas willing to put his body on the line for that trade as well. Lev walk away with the first. They kept composed under what got a very dangerous situation with Benji finding those 3.
It's a big effort from Benji out the gates, but maybe a little bit misplayed from that entire push sequence, starting from that push from Woot with that Dizzy. Not enough follow-up. And what we're going to see from Leviathan this entire game right now is because they have that Viper Harbor just double controller setup, they can continuously put up and down walls, use cascades. That Viper Orb placement towards the back of A site as well is going to be crucial. It's on Team Heretics to make sure that their timing and spacing is pivotal. Benji, first to fall.
Love that. Love that. Punishing any attempt. And I want to see this from Lev. I want to see the dialed-in Lev. I want to see that dangerous Lev. They've been a little hit and miss throughout this so far. Obviously that upset earlier on in the groups. Looking to recover, and they're doing so very well here. Step by step, clearing out the A site. Still a couple of threats there. Sheriff's in hand. That's going to be Miniboo and Rien, so Rien's now moted. Tex takes down Miniboo. Beautifully done for Lev. That's 5 standing. That's dreamy.
Nice flawless round, gonna help that economy situation. But as I look to these two teams, yes, this is going to be an uphill battle for Team Heretics. Right now, they're not getting the best map picks for them. But if you take a look at the form from both teams recently coming into this event, they were teams that were just destroying 2-0 constantly throughout the year. But in the Stage 2 area, including playoffs, they looked like they were dropping maps here and there, both these teams. But to get to this stage, in this Champs tournament right now, they're both the heavy hitters. This is going to be a huge test.
Yeah, bonus here for Lev, so going to look at the Vandal that's still with Aspas. And bits and bobs around it, so certainly poses enough of a threat, and I feel like we're going to be seeing this A site basically the entire time. A little bit of a lurk from King, kind of keeping control on the other side, so no overconfidence or, I guess, assumptions can be made if you're heretics. They can't always assume, and then will be punished if they do so. Aspas, again, renowned for his entry work. The guy is genuinely a joy to watch. But for now, it's going to be Tex. Quick on the trigger to find Benji, and a very quick rotation.
It's all on Boo here at the back of the site. Dart on Calm, though. He's going to catch him, force him out of the position. He needs to back away. He needs to value his life. 4 versus 5 is winnable. That spike's going to get planted. He cannot stop it, not with that Cove up.
Nah, nothing to be done about it. It's actually Tex to connect. This bonus looking like pretty much on the money here. They're in the post plant. They've got all the bodies here. And Aspas leading the charge again. Finally put to bed by Boo, but it's Rienz and Boo to try and clear all of this space. They've got util for the post plant. Tex can create a fortress around him by Yellow. And this Outlaw already been spot on. I think a tag there yet. Rienz is barely breathing. Boo's trying to do some work, but it's Tex. Folding this down. Beautiful from Tex. Stunning work. Lev going to be over the moon with converting that bonus.
Nice shooting there, Tex. But an early death from Benji Fishy down at middle. That was the thing that opened up right here. Opens up the rest of the round, the pivot back to B. And with that double controller, Lev is going to be able to do all these audibles, these back and forth, push-pull type of attacks right now, and they have the perfect players for this as well. Tex is very strong at taking those individual duels if you unleash him around middle.
I mean, Tex is 7-1 currently. He's absolutely coming in on point, on form, and this could be another farming opportunity. Light armor everywhere, Sheriffs, yes. And they're going to hear this. They should be pretty aware of what's maybe around that corner, so I hope to see a very diligent, cautious approach from Lev without leaving it too late.
Pretty good read on the situation. Boo's got that deep line towards B, jump spotting. Till he gets pressed off that issue. Team Heretics is going to keep this stack. They had this on pistol round. Benji got 3 from this location. But Lev is peeling off.
Oh, but I like that. Going to note that at least they're starting to re-clear over towards A.
And that turret up from Tex at that A push. Going to get that information. Boo can't progress further than this.
And again, yeah, they can't rotate. They're still holding players here. That's nice from Boo, but one's all you're going to get. A big trade from Aspas, and Tex just hunting. He's out and about looking for any potential victims, but they've somewhat passed by already. Up towards Kitchen as the plant comes in from Azino. Oh, mini Boo, just a shot in the dark.
Fine.
Yeah, straight up blind. The Dizzy Flash going to be in play. Aspas got to be cautious. Forced to fall away. 30 seconds. Suddenly, we're in a little bit of trouble here. And he's got no way out of this safely.
30 seconds left.
But where does the spike go? Looking to alleviate some of the pressure. Tex is unleashed in middle, but there's util to hold him back. But he's trying to be a problem, be a nuisance. They've got bodies on the site still. Aspas down at 57. Trying to take point for his side. It's not clean enough for Tex, but he's turning attention. 10 seconds now. They've got to get a kill, and they do. Aspas creates safety, but there's danger above as Rienz could be the disaster. Waiting to strike, but Aspas, the perfect bodyguard, but time is going to be tight. They got the spike. So close, but not close enough. Mini Boo, all right, big shots, but if anything, the round was the important part.
Massacred thrifty there because no trust in the teammate to cover, and it didn't even need to get the kill, just needed to drop down out of the sight there. Enough panic in the situation. This is where you need to value the end game, the win con. If you get off the plant, you lose. You need to trust your teammate, and if their teammate can't cover you, it's unlucky. But if you get off, this is what happens.
How can you not have faith in Aspas doing what he, like, out of all the players? You have to be rock solid in your faith. But now, though, we go back to business. It was a thrifty conversion. heads back in the game here for Lev. Lots of ults to play with, seeing Aspas invest his into this round. 3 players in response, though, coming over from Heretics. We are going to see as well the Harbor ult on top of that. Aspas trying to take space over by screens. Pixel spotted, and maybe a victim found. Not going to get the fight he wants, and Heretics peel away. Okay, Rienz, you got to back yourself in some fights, I guess, but that one...
Swatted like a fly.
King's still on the side, though, and Heretics getting closer now, trying to hold the line, though. King delivers 2 bodies, puts him to bed. Con from up on top. Nice little spray, and he gets it done. Lev instantly correct the course. A mistake made, but made up for in the following round.
That was must needed for Leviathan as well to be able to come back into this, losing around this fashion that they did. Being able to come back and win this next round, it actually makes a big difference here. Yes, they got the first death in the round. It's a 4 versus 5, but these positions pushed up with that lockdown pressure as well. It's just forcing all of these players from Team Heretics to run around, not really fight together at all, and it's going to really affect their economic situation right now. Their economy in shambles, a few Sheriffs and a Vandal on the board. They're getting their ultimates online now. It's going to be so hard to be able to use them as well. Lev pumping the brakes, not doing a fast opening here. We've seen them deny the pressure towards A. Now we see them deny info towards B.
But it's all about timing, and maybe Benji gets it this time.
Just holding
Turret's
his off
still
angle,
there.
biding his time. The rotation from Heretics coming back to that A site.
They can gamble stack it. They're on Sheriffs. The big rifle is with Rienz. But beyond that, Sheriffs and hope, pretty much. I don't think he saw what was around that corner, but Benji getting curious down tube again. Silence across the map, hard to read.
It's going to be a very tense situation here as soon as first contact is made.
They get enough of a read on that. Maybe just feeling the pressure, but they're close. They're already so close. Deeper towards Maze. Rienz, again, he is the one to watch here, the one with the rifle. Lev cautiously and carefully taking step by step towards the site. You're looking at Rienz closing in on the gap, but his Kings take away Miniboo, the support system.
Big.
Starting to fall. Couldn't get the follow-up, and Lev now should lock this down. This should be security, and it is. There's a reason they are this strong on this map. Heretics yet to fully make an impact here.
Heretics needs to find an impact and fast. They have so many ultimates up in the board, but they're bleeding rounds. And yes, this map skews slightly towards that attack side. It's easy to pick up those rounds, especially when you're push-pulling so easily with the double controllers. But Heretics, they're not hitting their shots. And it sounds really vague, but they're also not fighting together.
Individual, they're isolated. It just feels like they're overwhelmed on these sites.
Whereas if you flip it on the other side, if you look through the lens of Leviathan right now, they're moving together. They're making sure that they're taking the time. As soon as those walls go up, they move together. Yes. And anytime someone's taking a fight, it is traded at the very worst. Except for that other round where Aspas was floating through the air, gets taken out. Everything's been shoulder to shoulder.
Perfect positioning. Yep. Really good fundamentals. Now, the way the veto was going to go, the way the traditional bans go for these two teams, you kind of expected Icebox to be the first port of call.
Yes.
Right? If that's available and you're Lev, you're going to lock that in. That's fair. It's what follows that scares. I think even the desk kind of were taken aback for a second there when we saw Haven coming out. Lotus, sure, but that's not a bad map for Lev. And to go down in this sort of fashion, getting kind of overworked here, getting run over, it's very hard to recover. So this could be a tough test for Heretics. I feel like Lev have an absolute upper hand here.
It's a big test for Heretics. They had to have known that this was going to be the map that's in here. They know that they're not strong on the map. So it's all a matter of how are they going to approach this map? How are they going to deal with it if Lev does pick it up? It needs to be in their understanding, yes, this is likely going to be a loss for us. We have not shown that we're strong on this map, but how are we going to rebound for the next maps to come back? And for a rookie team like this,
it's tricky.
It's very tricky.
And I mean, their form mostly got brought into question when we were talking best of fives, longer series. That was a bit of a different situation, but this, we'll see how it affects them. For now, though, Lev still need to, you know, stay the course. They still need to be able to stick the landing on this. Heretics are no slouches. I can't stress that enough. I think Rienz was a sharp reminder of that in some of the previous series. The guy was monstrous, but hard to get things going. And once again, Lev, traditional start. Looking to approach towards that A site. And really, as it stands, only one dedicated. It's going to be Woot hit.
So important for him to get one and live, or just live. Wait for the team to come in. We were just highlighting how Lev is so shoulder to shoulder, getting those trades. Team Heretics has been so spread apart. It's one thing if they're hitting their shots, but right now, Lev is getting the better of them.
And the tempo feels nice from Lev here. And Rien's, I mean, wants to try and deny easy access for just a hop, skip, and a jump, and it makes no effect.
This is all a ruse, though.
And they're biting on it, hook, line, and sinker. Did Benji spot anything?
But Benji's got his lockdown. This is going to be very difficult for Lev to be able to do anything. They're coming back to A. Just a fake pump back to B. Get spotted. Come back into A. The site is free. The Viper's Pit covers that plant spot. Mini-Boo.
They're playing them like a fiddle. They are absolutely running rings around them. Free site plant. We're looking at the retake, though. It's kind of always postured for Heretics in that aspect.
I also like the Tex.
Yeah, Tex, though, trying to catch that rotation. Perfect. Big delivery on towards Boo. Can they finish with a flourish? Keep this clean. 5 still alive for Lev. Woot trying to maybe lead the way. Forge them forward.
Big kills.
Back to back, but it's Calm on top. 2 kills. Aspas still holds. And it's all on Woot in a 1v2. Problems left and right, and they're going to know where he is. He might be just dead to rights here. He seems to have lost track of where they are, but Tex never did. Lev are B team on this map in my mind, and we're seeing it round by round.
It's so difficult to deal with the double controller when they have King and Tex constantly on the extremities, up through middle. The push-pull, starting in one side of the map and then shifting to the other. The double fakes, the pumps. It's really catching Team Heretics off guard. And right now, the only real way to get ahead of this is if you had a Jet with an AWP trying to pick them off as they walk around the map. But right now, they're on Neon. They don't have that Jet. It's hard to use some verticality. They're losing these rounds. They can't even get an AWP out. And
I guess, and I feel like I shouldn't say it because it feels fraudulent as a play-by-play caster to say, if anything, we kind of expected it to be this way. I think anyone with a bit of a mind for Valorant looked at the veto and went, well, map 1 is going to probably Levs. It would need a massive change, something of that ilk. But I guess the big question mark is, what is the impact on the individual players? Do they suffer in these moments? Are they going to be kind of down on themselves, struggling then to pick themselves back up? Map 2, map 3 potentially? That's always the question mark. And how much does Lev get rewarded from a map like this? Confident display, feeling like everything's working too, because that's got to feel great. It's not just like the Aspas show, no, it's this lovely approach, the fundamentals wrapped up with a bow, and everything looking just peachy. Now, outside of that, yeah, they could still get a couple of rounds. This map is never over. I think we've learned that in Val. It can always change like that. But as it stands, yet to see that spark from Heretics. And Tex snuffing them out. I mean, Tex has been absolutely on it today. Already, pleasure to witness. Let's see if there's any signs of life. Not really. Tex just farming. There's only Boo to really do some damage here. That's another plant. And they just look so robust in this mini-Boo, just given nothing either. They're just really not allowing it until then.
Getting something.
Pick. This isn't bad. At least towards maybe disarming that post plant. But then you still have Com, Hunter's Fury, Shock Darts. Still got Aspas, still got Tex.
Tex 6 HP though. Can easily fall.
But they gotta go. They gotta go now. They're running low on time. And no one's playing to them. There's nothing to be given. You have to take it yourself. And Lev not really feeling intimidated nor threatened by this. First Shock Dart invested.
Second.
And the second. And mini-Boo is barely alive. Oh, that's a shot! But it may be all for nothing. A pixel out of play, sure, Boo could do some damage, but the time is the main factor again, Lev. This is perfect to watch. If anyone wants to learn how to play Icebox, watch this.
It requires a lot of teamwork. It looks so deceptive because you look at it, it looks easy, but everything is so important. The communication about when you want to move from this spot to another spot, what Tex and King see on their respective positions at middle and at B to tell them what they can do, and just moving together on those tempos of when their walls come off cooldown, when the dart comes off cooldown, finding that first pick onto Woot, standing on the top of 410 there, walking up belt. Woot's not played there. That wasn't his first time up there. That was his second time. Oh, it's early Hunter's Fury. Gotta be.
Surely?
He was looking for it.
Kind of.
Decided maybe not. Okay. Maybe not against the Neon who can just sprint away.
Yeah, that's fair. Boo. I mean, he's been supported now with some additional utility from Benji, but
2-3.
See how he deals with it. Yeah, it's the first time we're seeing this like 2-3 split at least.
They're trying to force out a re-aggress from Team Heretics, but instead Team Heretics, they pop this Owl Drone. They spot one. They try to push and punish. They don't know it's 3 here, though.
They're going to find out fast because they already saw the Harbor. They saw Mazzino earlier, but they found Com on the kill. So there is at least information there, and they're going to expect to follow up. I like this proactivity, but there's still danger to this.
It was early enough in the round. 50 seconds now for LEV to be able to close out this round. 3 players for Team Heretics on the defense.
Going to take the contact. There should have been a trade on that. How is that disjointed? I thought that was on the absolute money. I thought they had it right, but apparently we were wrong all along. And now a 3v2. Couple of ults, though, here for Heretics. And they're cautious. You can see it with Lev taking their time. Plant's going to come in. And once again, you look at this post-plant. King's got util, as has Tex, and Aspax can just take point. He can just hold this. Ooh, the timing. Okay, 2v2. Maybe. With the lockdown, this could be enough. But do they play forward? Do they fall back? Looks like forward is the answer for now. Tex getting interested, getting hungry, wants the kill. He finds the pointier end of the stick. Benji gives him a lifeline.
Round by round is what Team Heretics is looking for here. And we can see them starting to warm up a little bit. That opening pick, it's a good start. Boo is starting to hit some shots as well.
Yeah.
It's not the first one that he's hit. Benji's had a couple of shots as well. But when we look at Team Heretics, who do we look for? We're actually looking at Rians and Woot a lot of the times.
True.
And maybe a little bit muted at the moment. Not involved in the game as much. Good opening pick from Mini Boo, but in this 5 versus 4, they need to be converting these rounds way more clean. And right now, talked about Lev, shoulder to shoulder, getting those trades. See it again here, getting into this round. Comes down to 2 versus 2. But Team Heretics, they need to be able to understand this map a little bit better, and obviously it's one of their weakest maps, if not their weakest map outside of their permaban of Ascent. But they need to be able to fall back and make it so much harder for Lev. Early Hunter's Fury this time.
You wanted it before, now you're going to get it, but you can see the effect against the Neon. So hard to try and close that down, just skips away. Rien's got to be cautious to not get kind of spammed out here. He's kind of playing an obstacle course, it looks like. Nowhere feels safe, but once again, they're just putting bodies on this. There's 4 players here now, and they're not falling away from the site. There's 3 of them. Back site. This is about to become a death match. And Aspas, I kind of fancy his odds. All goes up, though, and a couple more question marks, but Lev keeping control, trying to stay composed under all the chaos. But it's Woot to fall and King to deliver. Mazzino now holding that side, make sure they can't counter push, but it's come from on top to find 2. But Benji again, the one to try and keep them in this. But where do you put your money now? Boo up against Com. Spike is loose, 50 seconds, he plays ahead of it. Com, good intuition, but a better shot from Boo.
Boo, the in-game leader for the team, trying to show the rest of the team, this is what's up. Follow me into battle, and I'm going to take you to the promised land. But I like how Team Heretics is doing the defense. And we see how good Lev is good at running in together. We see it from the perspective of Team Heretics right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's moving together. They're swinging 2,
Triple
3
swing,
at the same time, trying to get those trade outs. But what Team Heretics did better this round than the previous round is they're at the back of the site. They have their Viper wall isolating Lev. They put that Neon wall up. They're moving together. So step by step, getting better for Heretics, still trailing by 2.
Oh,
So gutsy. But you need this.
No, okay, he backs away. I was wondering if he was feeling really audacious, but it's Benji. This is an early test he hasn't had before. Tex this time beats his opposing number. So that's a massive pick at 1 minute 18. That's so early in the round.
And that's all the Sentinel abilities down as well. So that means that mid lurks are going to be very strong.
Oh, they're on the menu. Going to have the lockdown as well towards A.
This might be counterproductive. That Hunter's Fury setup for Rians, he knows he could get some collateral damage here as soon as that spike gets tapped. But Heretics was basically off of the site, so Lev, they go and they get that plant.
There's the Hunter's Fury.
Gets stalled out.
Yeah, and now a pre-take towards the site. This is nice, really well timed.
And he picks him off.
That's perfect from Rians. And I've got to say, credit to Woot and Miniboo for hitting that as the second that the Hunter's Fury came down. They're starting to get the tempo of this game. Finger on the pulse here, but the dangerous 3 still stand. Aspas, Tex, and King. Miniboo getting curious. Oh, big punish. Good trade as well. Great spacing. But it is Aspas. And he always deserves a moment of respect here. Spike is left out of hand. Is there a way to divide? Oh, and he's starting to conquer! 10 seconds, pops the ult, a quick turn, he knows where he is. 7 seconds to play with. What does Boo do? He clutched before, and he's done it again!
Boo is doing incredible work for Team Heretics, keeping them alive. Multiple engagements in these clutches, back-to-back as well. He is pivotal for these guys. He's the in-game leader, and he's not known for being able to post up these huge numbers or get these huge rounds.
That's impact kills,
That
though.
is very high impact kills.
And give me the odds on that 1v1. And Aspas up against Boo 1v1 to clutch it out. Credit where it's due. This is 3 consecutive rounds. Maybe there is life in Heretics yet. You've got to say, Lev still lead by a good margin. They've shown a very good display, but there are answers being made by Heretics. They're getting that read on the game.
They're getting more
close
confident.
As it may. Yes, and you can see it here. This time it's Benji winning that fight. Takes away Tex, and that was the trade out from the last round that went in Lev's favor. And now they've got control here. They have this A-site control finally.
I believe it was a little bit of a spam duel that Benji got the better. A killjoy diff at middle there. Boo. Valuing his life, sees this orb.
Oh.
And a spam kill for him.
That's so nice. Just catching a second of King. He's trying to get towards yellow, but the plant's going to be coming through. Can he deny it? That's actually going to sting a little on Com there. Does get away. Aspas gets detained. Woot's on the way. Boo's going to find him, and now suddenly they're down to 2. Com and Mazzino suddenly with a wake-up call. This game ain't so easy. And Mini Boo, I feel like he's kind of overcooked that a little bit, but luckily for him, it's only going to be Com in a 1v5. The defuse is happening, and Mini Boo's toying with his dinner. Com tries to stand, but will fall. And now we have a game on our hands. It got closer. Heretics woke up, and maybe there is more to be said about this one. A 5-7 scoreline is not out of the realms of reality here, Josh, but we still put our stock, our faith towards what we know, which should be Lev, but who knows how this one goes. Don't go anywhere.
Red Bull gives you wings.
To 7. Now, the way this started, I thought this would be a clean map one, Josh. I thought, you know what? Hey, it's going the way we thought. Fair play. And that's when we're talking about the best of 3. Okay, going the distance, but Heretics woke up. They closed out 4 rounds, back-to-back at the end there. Does this put some faith in you, or is it still sitting favorably towards Lev?
It's a little bit up in the air. It still favors slightly towards Lev. This pistol round's going to be huge. Remember, Lev got the first 3 rounds, including that bonus round. They lost with Thrifty, but instantly answer back and collect 8-1. But Team Heretics comes back with 4 in a row, led by the in-game leader, Boo. He is the one that we're looking to this match, but we don't expect him. If he buys enough time for Woot to come back online, then we're going to see a game on our hands. Lev, they still have the control of the ship. They just need to be able to close this out a little bit.
Looking at the Sheriffs. Tex and Aspas going for that. Everyone else on Ghosts and Classics pretty much. And Heretics on the attack. And we look at Woot to try and be an instigator here. Quite quiet on the first half, but this half is... it needs a lot of him to be involved. Obviously with Rienz as well, but still... his value certainly increases here. And a look towards B-Long, but the walk back towards A. Heretics, slow and steady as they approach the A side.
Lev spread apart, 2-1-2 setup, only 2 to defend us. A site and Com would be the first point of contact here at Maze, but Rienz gonna pop that drone, follow it in. There's no Viper wall here. An orb still remaining for Boo. He pops this now. Looks like they're trying to get that spike planted on that wingman.
And Com is completely outdone. Heretics. Very clean there, actually. I thought they might have been a little bit dissuaded by the harbor wall coming through, but no, very well calculated on the way in. And now down to Aspas and King. They were the ones that were split quite far away. And Heretics not moving away from the site. Hard for any of the util to really force them away anyway. I don't think Aspas saw the pixels crossing through for Miniboot. This is so difficult. It's just going to need belting shots, really, and no one's giving him a fight. First one does go down, that's Miniboot, but you're right, time is of the essence. Spots out Boo, but they don't know about the other three. This is so uphill, so arduous to try and turn around. Great work from Heretics, Josh. This was very well-made plans.
Round by round, Team Heretics has been crawling it back. And Lev, not sure if they use a timeout yet this game. They still should have 2 available if this game starts getting a little bit messy, a little bit scary for them. They came into this, one of their stronger maps, Ascent and Icebox being the top 2, trying to come in here, clean this, just take it just by storm.
Yeah.
But Team Heretics putting up a fight. Lev probably not prepared for this at the moment. If Heretics builds that confidence, if they're able to steal this map away, it's going to be
things.
Oof.
Yeah, that suddenly becomes a whole new script gets written. As it stands, though, we're going to see the Sheriffs out. There's 3 in the hands of Lev, one with Aspas, one with Tex, and one with Mazzino.
Scary.
They've gone for a stack, all in, 5. Heretics should go through their protocol list. You've got to hope. That should be 2 spotted. Wonder how much more gets revealed in the same moment. And with no pressure over towards B, you're going to be adding question marks to what's around that corner.
They saw multiple players there, including Aspas. Benji starts his walk, securing the close space for his team, but, I mean, the fast rotation, the pivot, mini boost sliding around the map. It's going to be an orb and a wingman plant here. That's where the Viper wall is. It's going to protect them. Calm. You're going to try to deny that plant? It's so difficult. You have to wait and play the retake. Still, King sits back, waits to see if it's a fake or not. Team Heretics actually didn't go for that plant. They still have that wingman, but now there's 4 players for Lev. This could get scary.
And I hate seeing it get to this 30 seconds. I mean, 30 seconds isn't so bad, but there is elements of danger. If the spike plant gets denied, if something goes a little topsy-turvy, it doesn't. As it stands, Com does go down. Goes to the hands of Benji's utility. Split at least 1 towards CT there. And they're in a very comfortable post plant. Looking at any utility to maybe take that out of position. Maybe Mazzino to invest a little, maybe Tex, but other than that, it is the weapons in hand, and Heretics drastically outgunning them here in this round. So, should be a formality, but Tex has something to say about the matter, as does Aspas. Can they dismantle the 2 players on the side? But you got to get going here. You got to get moving. Aspas 10 HP, and he's still firing. Boo, though, it's where the buck stops with his side. He doesn't let him pass. Boo has been on the money.
Last half, Lev was able to secure and convert that bonus round. Now it's on Team Heretics to be able to do the same back to Lev and take the lead for the first time into this game. Right here, pushing up Team Heretics, getting in front of that harbor wall. They must have thought that they were going to get split apart there, so they wanted to play in front of that harbor wall to make sure that they play together. But the harbor wall was actually behind them. They didn't have to go for that push, and it got a little bit scrappy. It came down to the wire there a little bit.
Speaking of scrappy, bonus. 3 rifles, 1 SMG and 1 Sheriff. 1 away from Woot's ult, though, so that could be something they aim for here. Let's look at the early intent from Heretics. 3-2 split, but this time Aspas is on guard duty at B. If they try and walk this.
Dangerous position to be
in. The gun in the way, he couldn't see it particularly clearly. Does go down to Boo's. Had his number throughout this game in a couple of clutches, couple of ends of rounds. Boo has been the big man. Now with an early pick, they can pause here. Still about a minute to play with.
Such high-risk play coming in from Lev right now. First Aspas, he goes down. Tex also stands tall.
Got to back yourself, I guess, but this is dangerous. And that owl drone could be actually dealt with. Perfect. The Dizzy does find him. Time to fall off. He actually tries to go back in, and the timing's just perfect.
Spacing.
And the patience pays. Oh, he even gets a second. Nice work from Tex to keep
Huge.
calm there. But Heretics righting the ship. Until then, Mazzino makes his stand on the site. Death from above with King. And suddenly, Benji in a 1v2, but 30 seconds. And I told you once before about this guy, and I'll tell you it again. If he stands, there's always a chance. But does he predict Mazzino's reposition?
Benji thinks he's still back sight, but took the rope across silently. No idea.
When does he consider it? When does he's got to think about it at some point. The timing is everything. 13 seconds. Mazzino's reposition was heaven sent.
Team Heretics falter. They had that opening pick on Aspas over at B. And we've seen this from Aspas. It's such a big risk to take in a moment like this where you play that 50-50 angle. You're against the bonus round here as well. Losing that round would have been huge. Just a really bad situation to be put in. But right now, Team Heretics, surely they lose the round, but that was the bonus. They're able to do a full purchase here. And they're keeping Lev really low on economy. What is Lev going to do to rebound from this? 4 Sheriffs and a Vandal coming into this next round here. And this is not the situation you want to be in, but still, with confidence, pushing up, trying to take space.
Sheriff.
Yep.
Now that Vandal is on the way. It's in the back lines. Kind of set into play by Mazzino. Did Benji hear any more? Maybe an additional step, who knows? But he knows his presence, and he knows that they've now got access at least to the flank. Now, is there a stack here? Benji making decent progress. Be able to hold this. Maybe wait to hear for rotations.
Lev.
Hello.
Oh.
He's going to hear that.
Benji hears everything.
Yeah, Babu's found his man. And now with the Killjoy going down, he's got free reign. Aspas aware, but he still dies. And now Benji can be a nuisance. He goes down. He could have played his life a little more there, cost them some time. But no, the plant's going to be coming in for Heretics. And now they can sit in the deeper post plant.
Boo still with the molly here for this post plant.
Com, he's got the rifle.
No cove, just the cascade.
Very difficult for them to get this done. And the ult going to come back through that to secure at least to the first attempt. There's no half achieved here, of course, they know that. So time going to run low. Now, you can see the layering of utility. They have to respect the timing, and they're trying to maybe disrupt that back line, and Miniboo's having none of it. It's clean work in the end from Heretics. 3 alive, and they handle the threats well.
Team Heretics again in the situation, 1 round win from taking the lead in this game. And we talk about it, how we come into this game. Lev, one of their better maps. Team Heretics, they're floating this. They have to. Do we expect this? Not at all. It's catching everyone by surprise, and now everyone's starting to heat up. Still, Woot a little bit quiet on the board, but Boo again, just opening this game up.
Here? Me, Papa.
And Mini Boo. Getting his own voice lines, I guess.
Apparently so. Lev, here's a change. Aspas, the timing. He didn't get seen. They have no idea, but it doesn't seem...
They know.
Oh, now, yeah, they absolutely... You're right. Oh, Rien's the one to punish. And left looking almost silly here. And it's bizarre to me. It's not something we know that... We know that Heretics don't lean towards this map. We know that Lev have had this in their map pool towards the top end. But right here, right now, we are seeing Heretics poised to take the lead. We've questioned the form of Leviathan throughout this, I guess, tournament to an extent. We questioned Heretics towards the end of the online portion, qualifying to this, looking in slumped potentially. But now, as it stands, they're in form. But still, 8 apiece. Tex in the right place.
It's a good gamble read from Lev. They have that crossfire, but Tex re-aggressing because they have the numbers. This is going to be a huge play or a big blunder.
Feast or famine moment for Tex, and it's famine. Woot finds him instantly. There was a chance there if things didn't go his way. And they don't. Mazzino tries to make something out of nothing, but Heretics taking the lead. Deep in what feels like enemy territory, they are up 9-8.
Lev surely needs to start using their timeouts at this stage in the game. They have to. They're letting this slip at the moment here. So many confident fights and so much aggression. And I wonder if that re-aggression from Tex in that situation, they had that gamble stack towards B. If he sits back yellow, he's got 2 other teammates to set him up. And they can deal with this attack, but instead he presses forwards. His teammates can't trade him. Once he goes down, it's a 5-on-2. It goes from a situation where maybe you're only winning it 20% of the time, all the way down to like 5% of the time. So Lev, they need to make individually better decisions. They need to find their form again. those first 9 rounds of that first half probably put them in a false sense of security, feeling like they could get away with stealing candy from a baby. But right now, the police are here and they're not letting it happen.
The analogy was questionable, Josh.
Sorry,
I was going to let you get away with it, but nah. I mean, we're still at a timeout. If you'd done it mid-game, I'd probably leave you with that. But yeah, 9-8. And the timeout comes in. We look at the economy as well. This is going to be, if anything, probably just Sheriffs and not much more. A couple of ults. Actually, tell a lie. They've got 3 of their ults already there and 1 off from Aspas and 1 from Tech. So actually, big snowball round on the horizon for them here, potentially, if they can work towards that. On the other side, of course, Miniboo sitting on his, Boo 1 off from his. I mean, we're going to have one of those sort of rounds pretty soon, where everyone seems to have it. So, 10 potentially for Heretics. And that's when I start really paying attention. Lev might have to sit back and suffer in this one. Just that Guardian. In the hands of Aspas.
A drone actually got cancelled because Rian's got shot in the toe. A little bit of 19 damage or so. Now, Team Heretics wait for that Viper Wall to come back up so they can walk across here. Hopefully not get spammed in the process. Benji just holding this A space.
And Dizzy goes down as well, so Aspas still gets to hold the line. Sees something. Oh! He's so good! But 1 pick's not enough in this round, but taking away Wu is pretty important. It makes the plant more difficult. They have to put bodies behind it, and now they've got numbers leaning back towards B. Aspas on patrol, on duty. Another target, but no confirmed push off the back. And King, slipping back up to yellow, is lovely. That keeps safety here.
Benji starting his A-walk right now. Harbor Wall about to drop over towards B, but already the repositioning from Team Heretics. It's just Boo here trying to keep pressure, trying to keep the LEV players. But it's already a retake for Tex.
Yeah, and I'm also looking at Mazzino's timing. If he played down tube there, potentially, there is still going to be the utility in the way, though, so he's not going to get the freedom.
Hunter's Fury set up as well, in position.
Or Tex.
For this tap.
He's so scary with this Sheriff, though, but doesn't get the shot he needed. Benji going to create at least security on the site to try and facilitate the plant. Com trying to deny by just buying time with his ult coming in. Lockdown going to come through as well, trying to create some sort of safety. But Heretics looking like they're about to secure the round here. It's forced a lot of utility. It forced a lot out from them. That's fair. And maybe it's not over yet. But a 2v4 with Sheriffs. On against you, they're desperate to get Boo down, but he's such a nuisance. Oh, he's being such a pain. Really well done again by Boo. Credit here, just playing his life well, costing them time and potential towards the site. And the threat's been managed, and Heretics making it up to 10.
And Lev off the back of a timeout, unable to get anything done there. A lot of investment as well. That's 2 ultimates, Harbor and Sova, both not getting the value that they want from this. And again, Team Heretics is in the lead, finding these openings, really good pacing, understanding exactly when they need to activate and deactivate. Benji on the timing at A this round. He's done it already at middle once. And Team Heretics staying a step ahead. Lev just 2 split up on their defense, not fighting together. That is the Blade Storm popped for Aspas. He is over towards B, and it's the same opening setup for Lev every round. And Team Heretics, they've been taking this A space. They've been holding the pushes at middle and B, waiting for Lev to get in the faces. Lev hasn't really pushed through all the way yet this game, but their defense holds. We talked about them on attack, shoulder to shoulder, 2, 3-man swinging things together, getting those trades, but right now, falling 1 by 1.
And it looked like Heretics were trying to maybe predict or expect some aggression off the back of that ult here, especially when you're looking at where Benji was and to add to that Boo as well, but ooh, turret stays up.
Mazzino always positioned towards this boiler angle to deny that Molly from taking out the turret, denies those late lurks from Benji or from Boo.
That's lovely. I think they're getting a good read of the approach now.
It's going to be tough. As soon as this Harbor Wall goes down, that's going to be the Viper Wall to be recycled in. But already
We're trying to disrespect that, at least with the Dizzy. You see the stuns coming in. They've got the site. Yeah, we're going to have the Hunter's Fury coming on towards this as well. Kong going to just swing on in, but Heretics holding this site well. Mazzino has to respect the ult at the very least, but there's 3 players to try and handle, and they're not getting what they need. King and Aspas. Ult with Aspas. Rifle with King. But the ult on the side makes it hard to connect for Aspas. He doesn't get fair fights. Normally he doesn't need them. Right now he's being given nothing. They're not playing to his song by any means. And Heretics might have just teed up 11 here. Aspas another step closer, but a victim found, but a good trade. Boo, keeping those numbers favorable, and King going to be forced back to heal as 11 rounds is going to be carved to the board here. And I think a lot of us doubted this map, and rightly so. Off of statistics, off of history, out of anything we know about this. But as it stands, when you get to champs, that all goes out the window, apparently. It is 11 for Heretics, up against Lev on Icebox.
Another timeout is available if Lev needs it. And at some point, they need to take it because right now, nothing is connecting. Team Heretics, Boo, leading by example on that defense, keeping them in the game, winning some clutches. Now on the attack side, calling perfectly the tempo, the pacing to open up the round, where they go in their mid-rounds, the audibles that he's calling.
It's been a great game of calling, at least from Boo, to say the least as well. Considering how much impact he's having fragging-wise as well, it's very impressive. And now we're going to see Lev clutching at straws, struggling to get a grip on this game.
Initial pressure from Team Heretics. They broke that Killjoy turret finally. Re-ends with the drone. This is going to force this fight. Lev, do they push through with it or do they back off as soon as they get spotted here? Woot.
Oh, they're so ready! They're ready for the aggression last round. They're ready for it again. The only thing that went their way was King finding Boo. That's it. But the site falling into the hands of Heretics. Mini Boo taking so much space here, making sure that plant will be secure.
Spike planted.
Cove still available for this defuse. So much ability for Team Heretics right now. And here comes the thrash. Oh, Aspas slips by.
I mean, he just didn't get the impact that he wanted, but maybe a chance made here. 2v2, and Mazzino hungry for the kill, leaving Rienz in a 1v2. Diffuse already started, he's been dealt with. Finally, Lev finds stability, pushing up to 9, but they are the ones trailing here.
A little sign of complacency from Team Heretics in this post plant. Didn't reset. They had so many abilities to work with. They had mollies, they had thrash, they had shocks. And instead of falling back and playing their post plants that we know them for, Sunset, Abyss, especially at that B site, they love these spam battles. But here they play up and they get spread apart. Aspas finding that opening, and from there, Lev converting multiple kills back to back to back. Team Heretics still in the lead. They just need to be able to get to the finish line here.
Placing swamp grenade.
Chance made, though.
Another A opening for Team Heretics and Lev. Tex and Aspas, very aggressive positions. Tex holding the bottom while Aspas holds that belt line. Team Heretics with a Dizzy, gonna pop off of this. We're a drone.
Last round, we saw Tex in this sort of position being forced off by that Dizzy. This time an easier evacuation for Aspas, but a lovely re-aggress taking the Space Blade maze. Oh my god, wait, Heretics are fighting back and Miniboo trying to, I don't know, trailblaze his way through the site itself, but Lev finally standing together, but Benchy, yeah, run, Mazzino, because that would have been a 1v1 and it would have been untradeable. And now the timing is right. Leviathan reminding us who they are. This is their map. This is their choice. And that's Benji dead on the ground, 11-10.
Still timeouts. Still a few rounds left. Team Heretics is gonna call it. Get the coaches involved, talk about what's going on. They're getting the space at A, it's free, but they're not really utilizing other parts of the map at the moment. They're not using middle. Benji went there a couple times early in the half, haven't gone there since. Boo, he's just sitting outside B. He's not really advancing in that situation. He sits around garage or he sits around spawn. He doesn't press up either. So right now, not a lot of information coming out, not a lot of pressure or threats dealt with. And Lev just hold their spots, and right now they're starting to fight back as well. Not necessarily with like insane setups or anything like that, but they're fighting together and they're starting to hit their shots. And that's going to be dangerous for Heretics if they don't have perfect plans. Right there, they tried a set piece, but they didn't need the set piece. They've been winning by making this push-pull. Instead, they give a little bit for LEV to get back in the game here.
Yeah, starting to see Mazzino have that impact as well. Starting to see Texan. And again, it's not the Aspas show. It's not just this, you know. And again, Aspas will always, it feels like he'll always do enough. He's always one of those players who will find value. But this, to me, has been held together by Tex and Mazzino. Those two have been spot on. Now, this is 2 rounds. A timeout has come in, and we've given a lot of credit to Nilzinho, to Weber, especially throughout EMEA, in their impact in these timeouts. So let's see what they've cooked up here. No ults to depend on. They are 2 away from the lockdown. That's the closest. On the other side, Lev still have Mazzino with the ult. They've still got the Viper's Pit with King. They've got a lot on the horizon. They are not out of the woods yet, Heretics. Even in the lead, Lev starting to wake up.
Looks like a maybe pace change from Heretics here, but a different wall coming out for the defense, slowing that B in the mid-approach here. Looked like for a moment, Benji and Boo wanted to progress towards middle here. Fake pressure towards A. Team Heretics hasn't really shown this, where they pressure towards A, push them off, and then instantly transition back. And it's going to be a 3-2 split towards that B site, B main being that first point of contact. They still have Drone. They have that Dizzy. It's going to be a lot of loud noise, but right now, only Benji gets spotted. He's the normal lurker. They shouldn't expect 2. And with a double initiator towards B, with this Neon, it's going to sell everything they need to slip the gap through middle. Lev, I don't think they're going to be prepared for this at all.
Oh, King is on the chopping block here. I'm a little worried for him, but Mazzino not far away. The timing, okay. Oh, okay, he's still alive.
He might pop his pit as well.
Caught by the Dizzy, but he gets back to safety. There's the push, though. Straight up middle, that is going to cut off any support. So it's on Mazzino. It's on King. They're on an island, and the support is still pretty far away. Benji, they're just on the other side of this pit here. King, he's waiting, and says hello, Benji, carving through them like a hot knife through butter. Heretics taking over the site as Aspas and Tex finally make it back through towards B. But by now, the site's under full control. Heretics showing off here. Benji's timing was fantastic through middle there. Lovely work.
Economy very low, but they could still afford another buy. Lev looking for an opening into this round to see if they can go for this. If they don't get it in the next 5-10 seconds, they're just going to fall back and save. Right now, Aspas thinks he's got a chance. It's going to back off now finally, and a lovely switch up from Team Heretics in that situation as well. That timeout coming in, the coaches probably making that call, seeing that gap.
They need these rifles as well for Lev. You're looking at the economy, it's something you were noting, it's getting a little bit close to the wire for some of these teams, but 12 is made for Heretics. At the very least, overtime secured here for them. For Lev, they're 2 rounds away. Now they are able to fashion a purchase. I think they've got everything they need, so that's one thing. But they are lacking in ults, anything else to kind of tilt those scales.
I'm looking at the economy. There's enough to purchase an op, but Aspas hasn't played with an op all game yet.
No,
and Team Heretics, yes, they have that Neon. Yes, they're using some of that speed. They have that Dizzy and that Drone. But also Benji and Boo, they're alone in a lot of these situations. It could be really strong for Aspas to pop this out and get in their faces, but right now, opting to use the Vandal. And again, another 2-on-2 spread apart for Team Lev. Team Heretics going back to what was working the first few rounds of the half, taking that A space, popping that drone. They're going to follow up with this as well.
I like how far Aspas is actually walking with King here as well, really securing, making sure they're clearing those back lines and ensuring some confidence in this A hold, but it gets a little bit scary. Again, they may have good information. They are still held back by the utility.
It's a 5-on-3 though at A site.
Yeah, not easy to overcome. There are the numbers here. Tex, will he be noted on the Dizzy, on any of the utility that comes in?
Here come all the set pieces from the attackers. That Viper wall can isolate them, but Tex needs to go big.
He found a pocket to play in, and he can only punish 1. A good trade, a 2 for 1. Heretics going to be happy with that. Com is still backside. The lurk is on the way. Closing the gap now. They are surrounded here, Heretics. Players left and right, but Com needs to show presence, and he does. Takes away Rienz, and there, striking from the back lines is Aspas. Good trade for Benji. But they don't know about King, and this guy is ice cold. Takes away Benji, leaving it all down to Woot. Can he find a fair fight? He's looking for one. Doesn't spot King here. Oh, this is a nice reposition. It's audacious from Woot. They don't have... Oh, there we go. He's been seen. Ooh. Com just snapping up there to it. That flank was so important, and Com playing his life really well, still holding space on the site was so important.
The disconnect, though, for LEV on the two sides of the map, pushed up all the way through B. They know it's going to be an A hit. They have that cascade. It's going to go down. All they have left is themselves, the three of them on that site, in that Viper wall that cuts the site in half. But Tex is alone in front of it. If he doesn't get at least two there, his positioning is not good enough. And he only gets one, he falls, his teammates fall, and the site goes down. That could have been a very bad way to go out of this map if you're Team LEV. Aspas coming in the backlines with King, save the day.
Right here.
And
One more chance.
Team Heretics actually starts towards B this round. Every round so far has been towards A at the start.
Oh, instant Hunter's Fury as well. Com is so good at this. A blind send on it, but it's Mazzino with two. Rienz does take him down, but it's good numbers for LEV as OT seems like it's on the horizon. Rienz and Boo, though. We've talked a lot about Boo, and for the right reasons, but the timing on Com here could be perfect.
Oh.
He's got him. Okay, I didn't know if he knows the barrel or not, but he did. Woof. He was lucky there, sitting a little bit deeper to not get caught by that.
I have the spike.
Rienz. He's had impact before, but a 1v4 here, that's a lot to ask, yeah. Quite happy to see this go OT. Give us a real game between these two heavyweights from EMEA and the Americas region.
Tex has Rienz contained, though.
Yeah, high-low. How you meant to... He knows about King. Again, so close. He's desperate for a pick, and they're just not giving him much. If anything, they're giving him nothing. Again, all the utility just being worked through. He's giving it a damn good... Oh my god, go! You caught me for a second there, but it will be OT. And this is the depth when you look at LEV, right? This is the capability we know that they can have. That resilience there, that ability to turn games around. We saw it at the very end. They were under the heel of the Heretic side, but now finding that resurgence. And again, got to give credit here, in my mind, Mazzino doing wonders for them.
Look at the
I told you it was
side.
mid B. I told you it was mid B. I told you it was mid B.
Told him it was mid B. The attack side right now is falling a little bit flat. I was talking about Boo. I was talking about his calling and his game plans. But towards the end of this game, the last 5 rounds, LEV has won 4 of them. And the only round that Team Heretics was able to pick up was off the back of the timeout, presumably where Niels or Weber came in and made that call.
Yeah.
So switching the sides, Team Heretics back on the defense for this first round of overtime.
Ooh. Okay.
Split pressure. LEV's going to push back A site, and there's nothing Team Heretics can do with the cascade, the drone. It's just forcing them off the angle. It's all on Boo right now.
Christ.
We saw Aspas in a similar position. Caught wrong on the 50-50.
What a gamble at a time like this.
He's got to be feeling it. There's no other way.
He was towards the top of the board. I don't blame him, but
That
there are 2 players.
That reclear towards A, though, spotted nobody. Boo.
Boo, are you ready? Yeah, okay, checked on. Really heads up work from LEV to be so diligent in every step they're taking.
That's actually really good for LEV right now. Because the drone, the Dizzy, didn't clear anyone. This dart now will, though. The jig is up. LEV, the fake is not working anymore. Boo, you need to keep your life, though. You need to back out. He's got his orb up, so he's going to be okay here. But now that LEV got spotted at lower A there, now they want to fall away.
You can see the read here. Benji already starting to come over to try and help Boo, but they are encroaching on the site. They're at the door. More than knocking, they're breaking it down. Spike's over here now too. Boo trying to keep a little bit of space, but again, he can't fight too hard for this. He has to keep his life as well. CT might be overwhelmed here. Already Tex looking that way. Already looking at Aspas taking that space too, but Boo's still on the verge. Holding back site at the very least. But they don't know about CT yet. They've got to be aware of it, and I think Rien's going to try and secure this and make sure they know about Tex. But he's buying time. He's costing them this retake here, but Boo and Mini Boo in unison breaking back through. Aspas can't do it all! And Heretics, known for the retakes, might just take this one back as well. Com would be in a 1v4, it ain't happening! First in OT for Heretics.
Woot hasn't been hitting shots all game, but he sends up that Dizzy, lets the Dizzy shoot out, gets the blind on multiple targets right there. Team Heretics move together within the span of 2 seconds. 4 players go down for Team LEV, and right now they have to call that timeout. They're looking at that map win right here, 1 round away for Team Heretics. the name of the game right now has been Team Heretics. Their defense, they only got 4 rounds on that first half. They get that pistol going into that second half. Round by round, they crawl back. They get a little bit of a buffer, but then they fall flat. They need that timeout to call that strat. Now that Lev calls a timeout, guess what? Coaches,
Pumped up.
they are really pumped. The coaches for Heretics can get involved now.
Yes.
Right the ship a little bit. What is Heretics good at? They're good at these 5-man, hit the site, get that post plant, and spam them down. But on a map like Icebox, especially when you're on single controller, it's difficult to get in there. You're getting stalled out constantly. Viper walls, Harbor walls, there's Killjoy utility, there's drone reclearing, and then there's Aspas just getting in their faces. So it's hard to get in, get that clean execute, and then fall back, and they don't have enough utility as well for those post plants. But I like what they are doing, trying to utilize middle. I want to see them utilize middle again here. If they want to close out the game, that's going to be their go-to. They know Lev starts 2-1-2 very often. Deny that molly on that boiler to take out that turret. Is it going to be the same opening for Lev? If so, that might be a good fight for Team Heretics to take. Go up and swing middle.
I'm still interested in what the approach is here, because Lev starting out with 4 players on the A side, leaving just 1. It's just King.
They're doing it, I think, just for the wall or the cascade. Then Mazzino's going to peel off, let his teammates get set up. He stays.
The timing on this.
King.
I'm so scared for King here. They've explored deep, that's fine, but King's got to be really, really careful trying to defend his kingdom. Falls away towards site and has to kind of do what Miniboo was up to, or excuse me, Boo was doing in that first round of OT. Taking the space and playing it very well. Mazzino.
Stepped.
Did Benji notice it? I mean, we're in LAN. The audio's different here. It's hard in a live environment, and actually rewards across the map for Lev. Middle controlled, A controlled. They're eyeing up B. Walking into somewhat of the unknown. That harbor wall, denying information, vision, and any fights thus far. King getting deep by Snowman. 2 towards site. That's going to be Mazzino and Com.
I'm not even sure if the wingman can get into plant, but he's going to walk up all the way.
Dizzy going to go deep here. Don't think that catches Mazzino. No, they're none the wiser. And the second attempt here going to come through with at least wingman. Hold on, they're clearing through the site. How have they done that? How is it? Oh, okay, King, that's not bad. The timing on that is great, but Tex could be the downfall of it all. Tex's timing is so good, but it's Rien's. This guy can clutch, but a 1v2 ain't gonna be easy against 2 heavy hitters here. Tex and Aspas, the corner held. He spots one, not the other, and now he sees them both with Aspas. Keeping hope alive here for Lev in map 1. Diffuse gonna come in and tie us all up.
The 2 highest rated players at the tournament, I think, if I was reading the stats correctly, just head-to-head right there, and almost a lineup coming in the favor of Rien's to close that out. But Lev are able to sneak that away. That was a 2K opening, a 5 versus 3 that needed to be converted for Lev, and it got so close. I love what Team Heretics did, though. They made sure that they got close. They didn't instantly send the wingman out. They got the 2 kills at the same time as the plant. Huge.
Bro, he killed me for the wall for no reason.
Well, accidents happen. 13-13, tied up. Back and forth right now.
It's gonna be a long day, and I can't wait for it. I got nowhere else to be, and this is some damn good Valorant here. Pacey looks like towards A. Let's see if they try and actually go behind this. Com clears close, sees a whole lot though. They retake the space towards Maze, holding that corner just a second. But I think they're trying to feel out if there's real commitment behind this.
Lev definitely looked like they wanted to do a tempo change, to actually commit through. But once they got stalled out, the drone didn't get any value. They didn't find an opening there. They choose to back off. They leave, though. Tex inserted in A. That alarm bot to secure, to see if there's a re-aggression. But this bait setup at B, we have not seen this before from Team Heretics. Miniboo behind yellow. Boo gonna set him up for a multi-kill. Right now, Calm, he has his dart. It's so important for Boo to break this dart so that Miniboo doesn't get spotted here. But
well, time to go.
As I say that,
time to evacuate.
But it's back to A now. Tex leading the charge.
Benji. Seen one, he cleared the util as well, so they've got to be able to keep some sort of confidence that the hit's coming to this side. There's no further contact towards B, already rotation from Miniboo, but Tex is at the door. And he wants to take this space. He wants that control. And the timing, their spacing was on the money. It was perfect before, and it might just be again. Benji with a good trade. Brings it back to a 4 apiece, but Aspas can only do so much. Time! We're down to 12 seconds. King in control. Gonna get the plant, but it's Boo still alive, and he's been clutch as hell. But the Viper's Pit is that. Whoa. He's seen both. He's seen both! Boo can't do it this time! King reigns supreme as Lev finally take back the lead.
Boo's been so clutch and crucial for these guys, round after round. Finally, he loses out on the side of a clutch right now. Team Heretics, down around, they can lose the map right here. They have to call this timeout, get the coaches involved again. How are they gonna bounce back? They have their attack side. But everything's been these 5-man hits. Mid hasn't been working for them. Benji got inserted, but the tempo, the pacing is not there. Team Heretics, are they going to do something faster? Everything so far has been priming Lev for these A hits. When A hasn't worked, they've gone B. But again, it's all on the coaches right now to make this impact.
What a hard position to be in, and it's actually, looking at this, it looks like Neil's taking most of the lead in the conversation.
They look calm.
Yeah. Again, if you're talking bigger picture, we didn't even think this would be a close map. I mean, it feels like we're kind of talking
especially 8-1 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you look at how this started, you looked at the veto, you thought, okay, map 1's probably going to be Levs, that's fine. You look at the later map, well, that's when it gets closer. But actually, we've seen a very good game from both sides. Pretty electric, pretty high quality. And I mean, the caliber of both teams, you kind of expect that. But yeah, to see it in actualized is highly impressive. Right, Lev back in the lead. Heretics held down on 13, timeout just hit. It was a set piece before coming out for Heretics. It was that kind of working through middle, split towards B a little bit. It was very nice. This looks different already.
We saw the same opening from Lev's defense last overtime round, but Team Heretics postured towards A this time, Benji over towards B. We haven't seen him taking that duel yet, so it looks like Team Heretics might just do a fake opening here, but Tex, so aggressive.
And he's rewarded with it as well, Mini Boo beheaded. And they can back away, knowing they've done so much damage so early on.
Wait.
Hold. King, careful. Careful. He's outnumbered. That's the floodgates potentially open. They could evacuate. They could bail away from this if they want to.
4-4. This is where the mid-rounding comes into play. How are they both going to respond? Right now, the kill happened on the Viper towards B. Team Heretics, are they going to go back to B, or are they going to hit towards A again here? Lev, keeping that 3-man gamble stack here. Trying to gamble stack, maybe re-aggress and re-clear an area right now, but
Zeno walking mid as well.
It's a full commit towards B. Benji's alarm bot still in play to stop that middle push. He's got his turret as well. He hasn't placed this yet. He's going to go back and place this to deny any sorts of flanks right now.
The deep dart just came through towards A as well, so they've got security knowing there's nothing coming towards this A side.
They got to hit this timing, get that spike planted ASAP.
But they're so worried, they're so paranoid that there's still players here. The confidence starting to wane as now Lev are on the site. They've made it in time.
Full stack.
And you've got the rotation coming in, the flanks on the way, and already Benji's gone down. The plant is in place, but it's a 3v4, and they have no idea about Mazzino. Now they do, and they deal with him quickly enough. A 2v3, but Boo's position.
Wait.
How much can Woot play this in? Do they have anything to clear this space? Oh my god, Aspas. They have no idea! Boo strikes, but can he hold back the rest? He'll need help here from Woot. Does he get to reposition? He got scanned! The timing! So perfect! And now we're in a 1v2. He
No way!
Do it! Lev bringing them to their knees! A glimpse of what it would be like, snatched away! Lev, maintain composure, resilience, and show that pedigree here.
Team Heretics has to be gutted off of that. They do have Lotus to rebound on at least next map. Icebox, they probably didn't expect that, but there's always time to rebound.
Bye.